Dogville from 2003 is a Lars von Trier movie starring Nicole Kidman, Chloe Sevigny, Stellan Skarsgård, and plenty of other people in a stage play type of movie that is shot on video. The story involves Nicole Kidman's character running from gangsters and taking refuge in the town of Dogville, which is a small dead-end town in Colorado and set either in or around America's Great Depression. At first, Nicole Kidman's character Grace is taken under the wing and protected by the townspeople, but slowly but surely the misanthropic tones that are present in pretty much every Lars von Trier movie start to rear their ugly head. In fact, it was about the halfway point, almost exactly, where I started to say to myself, when is this going to take a turn into fucked up territory? And sure enough, it did right then and there. The curtain was pulled back and I said, okay, here we go. And from that point on, the film just becomes a nightmare for especially our main character, Grace. I actually enjoyed this movie in spite of itself to a certain extent. I found the credit sequence to be as much of a statement as the film itself because it features photographs of poverty situations, people living in squalor and poverty, shown under the song Young Americans by David Bowie. So while you can view the themes of the story overall and take Von Trier's word for it when he says it's about how evil can lurk anywhere, he also couldn't help but slap you in the face with this credit sequence that also says, hey, screw you, America. Now, as an American, I'm not taking this personally because I know that Lars von Trier is Danish and he's a degenerate and he makes movies that are designed to make you feel like shit. I'm not sure who to recommend this film to. Maybe if you're like me and you've seen a lot of Lars von Trier movies but not this one, it's definitely worth checking out. If you're not familiar with his work, just understand that it's absolutely miserable and it's designed to be that way. Dark City from 1998 is a sci-fi noir thriller, I guess you could call it a thriller, where our opening scene involves a man waking up in the middle of a crime scene and he doesn't know how he got there and he has to escape and he's being helped along by a mysterious doctor played by Kiefer Sutherland. He finds out he has a wife, played by Jennifer Connelly, and he's trying to put the pieces together. Meanwhile, this shady group of bald-headed, pale, let's say, creeps is following him around trying to get him, and so are the police. But as it turns out, things are not what they seem, and this movie is often compared to The Matrix, which came out a year after this one. I would like to defend The Matrix and this movie by saying that the idea that our world is not what it seems and there's something behind the veil and what is the visible world is not actually real is an ancient idea. It's the allegory of Plato's cave, it's ancient Gnosticism, it's nothing new, and many, many movies have these themes. The timing of this movie coming out in 98 and The Matrix coming out in 99 makes it look a little suspect. I highly doubt they have anything to do with each other. And the similarities between the two films are only surface level. This movie was really good. It's heralded as an all-time classic for a lot of sci-fi fans. I just found myself enjoying it at an average level. I don't know what to say. I wouldn't rave about it, but I did very much enjoy it. And I watched it several times because the Blu-ray I have of it has like 5 commentary tracks on it, so I listened to a few of those. I will note the special effects, including the CGI, look fantastic, even on a Blu-ray, and they hold up, which you can't say about a lot of late 90s CGI. Also, I'm a massive fan of Jennifer Connelly, so seeing her as a kind of femme fatale in this noir-ish story was really nice. I think she was perfectly cast. So yeah, while I'm not as high on it as some people, I really enjoyed this one. The Sisterhood of Night from 2014 hoodwinked me into thinking I was about to watch a horror movie, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, but this movie is not a horror movie. I repeat, The Sisterhood of Night is not a horror movie. It stars Cara Hayward as Emily and Georgie Henley as Mary, and I call that out specifically because as I watched this movie, I said, where have I seen these two girls before? I had to look it up when the movie was over. Cara Hayward was in Moonrise Kingdom, and Georgie Henley, as a child, played Lucy in the Narnia movies. The story revolves around a suspected cult led by Mary, who leads her friends into the woods at night to perform some kind of ritual. people. Emily runs a gossip blog that nobody pays attention to until she happens to snap a few pictures of the other girls in the woods, and things really start to get interesting, and it brings a lot of attention to her blog. From there, the mystery of what is going on in the woods is investigated by the parents, the faculty of the school they go to, and the girls themselves who aren't involved. They all want to get in, and they all want to figure out what's going on. Kal Penn is in this as the guidance counselor, and there are many other folks in the film that you may recognize. I thought it was interesting that this was actually shot on location in Kingston, New York, which is the named main town of the movie. Also, it has a great soundtrack with some real music video moments, I would call them, with a lot of electronic and dubstep kind of music that was popular at the time. Also, another thing I noticed is we tend to bellyache about product placement in movies, but there's a teeny tiny plot point involving iPods that I was really excited about, because one character's iPod breaks and the other character lets her borrow hers, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, at the time, yeah, that's product placement, but I'm a big iPod supporter currently, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. This movie kind of snuck up on me as soon as I realized I wasn't watching a horror movie, and also I realized that I am not the target audience of this movie. I just let my guard down and let myself try to enjoy it, and I really did in the end. Now, some people have criticized the film because it bites off more than it can chew, and there are many plot points going on. Not to the point where it's hard to follow, but there is really a lot going on. Also, the film kind of grazes over some really serious subjects, but I don't think these subjects were approached with any cynicism or disrespect. This is a movie that I'm not going to go way out of my way to recommend to everybody, but I was surprised how much I ended up enjoying it. Fallen Angels from 1995 is a crime drama directed by Wong Kar-wai. This is only the second Wong Kar-wai movie I've seen, the other one being In the Mood for Love. And between that movie and this one, I'm not completely sold on Wong Kar-wai, but I can totally see how people really latch on to his films. This one involves pretty much four main characters who are creatures of the night in Hong Kong. There's an assassin and his handler who never meet each other, but she follows his hits and cleans up after him. And then there's this mute weirdo who breaks into businesses at night and forces people to pay him money to do the services of the business. It's a very strange movie, and one of the key lines in the movie, and one of the taglines of the movie, is "The night's full of weirdos." And there are some really deep themes of loneliness and isolation and longing for human contact, which really resonate with a lot of people. I found myself really enjoying the hitman plotline and not so much enjoying the one about the mute guy who breaks into businesses at night. I thought his character was very mean-spirited and annoying. Overall, I enjoyed this movie, and I'm not going to give up on Wong Kar-wai. I definitely want to check out Chungking Express and maybe some of his other films, but this didn't really rise to anything special for me the way it does with a lot of people. So don't take my word for it. If you want to see an experimental film that really dives deep into the themes of loneliness and isolation and the weird nightlife of a major city, then definitely check this one out. And that'll do it for this one. I appreciate you staying till the end. If you like these short reviews, there's a whole playlist of them on my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers, and I'll see you on the next one.